Well, hello there. Brian of London here, flying to the north of Tel Aviv. This is Netanya, and these are nature reserves in Poleg, southern Netanya. And I thought I'd go online. It's Brian of London here. I don't know how many of you have seen Avi Yemini's update from America as to what was going on with him being refused entry, but it's all become a lot more clear and quite astonishing, really. So for those of you not aware, Avi Yemini, who's a friend of mine and a friend of Tommy Robinson, he is an ex-Israeli who lives in Australia. Grew up in a Orthodox Jewish household here in Israel, from parents of Yemeni descent, as in from Yemen, because there was a huge Jewish population in Yemen. That's almost all gone now. Everybody's left. All the Jews have left Yemen, and he lives in Australia, and he flew to America. He's the guy who, if you saw any of his videos, he did an interview with Jim Jeffries, this so-called comedian, formerly Australian comedian who now works in Hollywood. And they totally massacred the interview, connected Avi with white supremacists, which is nuts. He's a kippah, yarmulke wearing Jew. It couldn't get more ridiculous if they tried. And this whole fake news interview, of course, was blown up because Avi filmed it. So he then announced plans to go visit America and confront Jim Jeffries, but more to do shows like Dave Rubin and Louder with Crowder, I think, and Alex Jones wants to talk to him. Everybody wants to talk to him because his expose video was actually bloody good, because it really tore into this entire genre of comedy masquerading as news. And it's not really very funny, and it's not satire, which Tim Pool pointed out in a good video. It's another class, and it's I mean, to call it woke comedy, it's not. The problem is it just isn't comedy. It's maliciously misrepresenting people and their views. And when it makes out that you're a neo-Nazi, as they did with Avi, that is dangerous, divisive, and horrible. Hope you're enjoying the pictures, just having a little fly around here. So what happened was Avi flew direct from Australia to LA, landed in LA, and I've had some experience with America. With I've never been refused entry, but I've had to answer questions at immigration. So I know what happens. You get taken to a place for secondary questioning, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all, I can assure you. And what happened to Avi was that when he gets to the secondary questioning, instead of it being immigration people questioning him, he's introduced to two FBI agents. FBI, as Ali G would say. I mean, this is amazing. And they tell him straight out, Comedy Central has complained to the FBI that Avi Yemini is coming to America to confront their man, Jeffries, and they are worried that Avi Yemini might pose a threat. And what Avi has to do for an hour with the FBI is go through social media posts to see whether the FBI can determine whether Avi Yemini is going to be a threat. And one of the posts that they pull out is actually an article by Political Light, who's a UK website who are very friendly towards Tommy and sort of our cause in general. But they posted a picture of Avi Yemini in his IDF, because he served in the Israeli Defense Forces, in his IDF uniform, holding a gun, because he was a soldier. And it is hard to believe, but that alone, that forms the basis of what it takes to get the FBI to intercede and arrest you, or not arrest you, but question you on arrival in America. Now, a picture in an IDF uniform holding a gun, just about every adult male in Israel has got one of those pictures. So that's not unusual. And it just staggers belief. So that, on the grounds of that, the FBI then ask Avi, are you planning to try and acquire firearms while you're in America? To which, of course, he replies, no, the only weapon I need is my microphone and my camera, which is absolutely true. But just think of what this means is Comedy Central are so terrified of the exposure of allowing Avi Yemini to come and ask questions. They're so terrified that they would actually pick up the phone and force, because I guess the FBI have to, force the FBI to start an investigation into Avi Yemini. So the FBI has to study all his social media posts, decide whether he's a threat or not. They have to start going into huge resource allocation to the concept of whether this journalist is a dangerous person or not. Which and of course, every moment that they're spending on Avi Yemini is a moment that they're not looking for terrorists or money launderers or any of the other significant things that the FBI are tasked with stopping. They're not doing that because they're spending their time digging through Avi Yemini's Facebook. Well, not that they can dig through his Facebook page because that's gone. Digging through his YouTube videos. I can't imagine anything more ridiculous, but yet more scary. But then what actually happened? After an hour of this, the FBI quite rightly declares that there's nothing wrong with Avi Yemini, there's nothing wrong with his intention to come to America, and that he should be allowed into America. But that's when the really insidious part of this. Avi made a mistake. Avi was denied a visa some time ago. When you go to America, if you don't have a visa, but you're from one of the visa waiver countries, which Australia is, then you can apply for the ESTA program. The ESTA program leads into the visa waiver program, but it asks you a bunch of questions. It asks you whether you've been convicted of serious crimes. I don't know if it's the form that's it used to say, and I don't know if it says today, asks you if you were a Nazi or were ever in the Nazi party, asks you if you're a terrorist or you ever committed acts of terrorism. And at the very bottom of the form it says, have you ever been denied a US visa? Well, Avi has for some reason in his past, who cares, 15 years ago, but he just ticked the box yes. And he went to America and nobody said anything about that, and he got into America in the past without any trouble at all. On this visa waiver program, and that was no problem at all, even though he ticked a box that said no, I haven't been declined a visa in the past, even though he had. Oh well, that's the battery warning. But the end of the story is, by bringing that to their attention, it was impossible for the Customs and Border people to ignore that now, and so they had to reject him, and he has to go back to America, apply for a visa, and when he gets that visa he can try again. Anyway, that's enough for me. The beeping is horrible. I'll see you all the next time.